Winter is coming, but your stablecoins don't have to freeze. Is the market cooling down? Well, that's the best time to make your stablecoins work for you. Today I will show you 3 stablecoin strategies yielding up to 25% APY on your US dollars. The safest one comes first and the spiciest one is at the end. So stay till the end for the alpha. Now without further ado, let's get started. If you don't know me, I'm Johnnytime, a DeFi and Web3 security educator. And today I'm going to show you my top 3, my favorite stablecoin strategies, which I use to deploy my capital in October 2025. We will go from safe and liquid to 25% per year on your US dollars. Let's start with the first one, which is my favorite because it's a set and forget pretty safe stablecoin strategy, which is the market neutral 9.6% APY currently of Etherfi cash. So this one is my favorite because it's simply set and forget. I just simply deposit my USDC here into the vault, which already has almost $70 million deposited. Now, why I like this strategy the most, and this is the safest in my opinion, of course, not a financial advice, I'm not an advisor, because when I deposit the USDC here, I don't need to harvest these rewards. The money is working for me all the time, and at the same time, it's liquid. So what does it mean? I get this liquid USD token in exchange, which essentially means that the money is working for me. And in terms of US dollar value, it's always going to appreciate and go up because this yield is essentially going into this liquid USD token, which always accumulates value. And I also can use the cash card to spend this liquid USD. So while the money is sitting in my vault, it works for me, it makes money, and when I need it, I use my Apple Pay card to pay for groceries in restaurants, for Uber rides, and I get also cash back. So this is strategy number 1. And by the way, if you're new to Etherfi, you can get extra $25 for free, just for free when you sign up using my special link in the description below. And if you're interested to learn about Etherfi Cash, which is an amazing product which I use every single day, I have a dedicated video that explains everything that you get, including up to 10% cashback in every transaction that you make with your cryptocard, which is crazy. So you both get money when you stake your USD, and you can also spend it and get cash back in addition to that. Now it's time to jump into the second favorite strategy when it comes to stablecoin yields, and this is providing liquidity in Balancer on base chain for Go and USDC, which currently yields 17% APY set and forget, which is incredible. Now, as you can see, this strategy already has $70.5 million deposited. And let me explain you a bit more about this strategy so you can understand better and also understand the risks. In Web3 and DeFi, we all chase new yield strategies and ways to make money. But none of it matters if your assets aren't secure. That's why I switched to the OneKey Pro hardware wallet. I've tried a bunch of hardware wallets over the years, and honestly, most of them feel just outdated. But then I got my hands on the OneKey Pro wallet, and it's a total game changer. Imagine you just switch from a Nokia N95 to iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's how it feels. Big touchscreen, fingerprint unlock, wireless charging, and even an air-gapped QR signing so your private key never touches the computer and the internet. And here's the best part. You don't even need MetaMask because the wallet has a built-in browser in the native app, which allows you to browse and use all your favorite DeFi apps without using an external wallet as a bridge. If you want to try it out, you can get 10% off with my promo code Johnny. Link down below. First things first, I want to give you a tip. So BeFi is an yield aggregator. It aggregates a lot of yield strategies on many chains. So currently I filter the base chain and also stablecoins. And then I like to sort it by TVL to see which strategies have the most amount of money. And this is how I can choose wisely where to deploy my capital. Another thing is that sometimes if you sort it by APY, you will notice that some strategies have very high APY but very low TVL, which means that they're either less safe or this APY is going to get diluted once more people deposit more money to the strategy. So what I like to do is first sort by TVL, or always over here the APY, and see also the average for the last 7 days and last 30 days. You can see that here you have USDC with Brazilian currency, which currently gives you 26% APY, but in the last 30 days it only gives you 11.5 on average. But what you can see here is that this Go USDC is pretty consistent. It prints between 12 to 13% APY in the last 30 and 7 days. So this is already a good sign with a lot of TVL. And you can see that the API is quite stable. This vault exists here for a while, since April, and the APY is quite stable, which is a good sign because it's another set and forget strategy where you can just deposit your stablecoins and you know that they are working for you and accumulating yield. Now you can see here also that the safety score is quite high, and I want to add on that basically you always want to check the stable coins that you are using. So if you use USDC, you know that it's quite safe. It's one of the biggest stable coins out there by Circle. But what the hell is Go? What if you don't know what is Go? Well, I can tell you that Go is stablecoin that is issued by Aave, the biggest lending protocol in DeFi, and this Go stablecoin is backed with bunch of collateral in different forms of tokens like ETH, Bitcoin, also USDC and USDT, and all other tokens that are safe and trusted by the Aave DAO. So you can imagine that every Go that is minted has a backing asset, whether it's ETH, Bitcoin, or other stablecoins like USDC. So it's quite safe. Of course, not a financial advice, but I consider this strategy low risk, high reward, and there is some kind of asymmetry here, and I myself deploy my capital here. Again, not a financial advice, but this is my second favorite strategy. Just bear in mind that usually in BeFi you can directly deposit USDC using their Zap option, but in that case it doesn't work, so you'll have to click here Build LP and then add the liquidity directly in the underlying DEX, in the underlying platform, which is Balancer, which, by the way, is also a very battle-tested, audited multiple times with hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidity in multiple chains. So it's quite safe. Again, NFA, not a financial advice, but you can essentially use the flexible mode and just put your USDC, let's say $5,000, and deposit them right away, get your liquidity pool token, and then go back to BeFi, deposit it right here, and then you will see it right here on your dashboard. Okay, are you ready for this? The last one is the most insane one because it generates, for me, almost 29% APY. You can think about it as 2.4% per month. And if you think about it, if you deposit around $40,000 into this strategy and you generate 29% per year, it's 2.4% per month, and it essentially means $1,000 per month. Now show me another place where you can put 40K and get 1K per month. There is no real estate deal that does the same thing. There is no anything that I heard of that does the same thing, but of course it comes with some risk and some more advanced steps that you need to take in order to deploy and manage your capital. So it's a little bit higher risk, a little bit more advanced, but the yield is incredible. Of course, do your own research, not a financial advice, but this strategy is leveraging opportunities on a blockchain called Core. This is an EVM blockchain that is all around Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on EVM chains, and it has some crazy strategies that you can deploy. First of all, we have this protocol called Coreland, which is essentially a fork of Aave. This protocol was audited by multiple companies. Some of them are really strong, like Halborn, and Halborn found only one low severity issue. It's essentially a fork of Aave v3. So you can say it's quite safe. And currently on Coreland, you can deposit USDT and USDC and get 21 and 22% APY just like that. You also can get this boost of 6.5% on your USDT if you buy their governance token. I don't do that, but if you want, you can do it as well. You need to buy their token and stake it somewhere, and then you get this boost. I just do something else. But this is another extra 6.5%, which you can get right away on your USDT, and it increases this yield to 28% just like that on your USDT. But I will show you another strategy which can even increase this yield that you see right here, this APY. So what I do, first I lend those USDT and USDC tokens, and I get this juicy APY on my capital. So as you can see, I have here 8K, here around 22K. And then what I do, I borrow the core token, which is essentially the blockchain token where you pay for gas fees and everything. And I pay 4%, around 4% APY to borrow these tokens. Now, make sure not to borrow with all the capital, because if your health factor goes below 1, then you can get liquidated. Then, what do I do with this core, with this $18,000 core that I borrowed? I deposit it here at the vault of b14g.xyz. And you can see that I deposit my core right here, and I make 15.56% APY. Now you can already do the math in your head. 15.56 minus around 4% leaves you with around 11 to 12% extra APY that you make on this borrowed $18,000. Now, there is some math to calculate the total APY on your capital, and I already did it in this spreadsheet. And by the way, if you're interested, leave a comment and I will share it with you. But you can see that the total APY with the current rates of 21% on USDT, 22% on USDC, 16% on your core, and you pay 4% on the borrow APY. I just rounded it out, both of them, the borrow and the lend APY. So you can see that I deposit around 30K into the strategy, and it makes this yield for me. Essentially, I make in total around $750 only on these 30K that are deployed into this strategy. Now, what I do is every once in a while, I withdraw some core. Essentially, this is how I balance it. I withdraw some core from the vault. Then you have a 24 hours cooldown in order to avoid a 5% fee. And then I can withdraw it. I can do it right now and I can show you. So I'm withdrawing this core, and based on my loan to value and health factor, I either repay some of my core or I swap it to either USDT or USDC and then supply it into the supplies to core lend, and then essentially my health factor increase, and then I generate again this yield on this. This is how I compound my earnings, and now these dollars will make again 22% per year, which is amazing. By the way, this is APR, not APY. So if you convert it to APY, it's probably 30 plus. If you have more technical questions, how to bridge to core chain, which exchanges to use to avoid high slippage, please let me know in the comment section. I will be more than happy to help. And also, if you have a bigger capital and you want to be more confident with your strategies and with your yield, I also offer consultation calls where I can essentially show you all my strategies, give you some personal tips that are relevant to you, to your capital, to your risk tolerance. So check the link in the description below. So to sum it up, the first strategy, Etherfi, set and forget, 10% APY, and also get cash back when you spend your dollars. Use my special link to get extra $25 for free in the description below. Second strategy, BFi, Go USDC, around 60% right now, can fluctuate between 12 to 20%, very safe, also set and forget. And the last strategy, core lend, okay, where you deposit USDT and USDC on core lend, on core chain, borrow core, then deposit it, and this one gets to 30+% APY when you compound your interest rates. Let me know your favorite stablecoin strategies in the comment section below. If you like this video, if you want me to make videos about other subjects, feel free to share it with me in the section below. Thank you so much for learning with me, and I will see you in the next video.